been following. I got some few choice
Exactly,
words for that.
exactly. God, I can't wait to hear him because it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's not gonna be pretty.
Nah, and that's a good thing. Oh,
And
by
I'm
the
a
way,
Mets fan. Yeah.
and yes, you are. By the way, we are live right now. Welcome to Untitled. The host Rodney Jones and moderator as well. Go figure. We got my man David. David Sanford is here. How you doing tonight, David?
What's up, brothers? How you doing?
All right, hanging, brother. And as always, our stalwart, the man
Mm-hmm.
formerly of the BX and now resides in North Carolina, Dominic Donato. What's up, brother Dom?
Gents.
Tom.
All right. Yo, we're gonna get into this. You guys wasn't there, but we had some little pre-show talk about what's going on in NBA. The hot, what's hot in the streets, so to speak, is this
It's hot in
James
the
Harden.
streets.
This James Harden deal. He's opted back in for $35.6 million with Philadelphia, and they are working together to find a trade partner to get him out of Philly. I was doing some reading, and I found out this will probably be his fourth team in the last 3 seasons since Houston traded him. You understand?
Could be.
And I found that kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. What is it?
Houston,
Brooklyn, Philly, and then whoever
Philly
is next,
and whoever he lands with,
right?
It'll be the fourth team, exactly.
Right.
So I'm just like, and this guy's 34 years old. I mean, we all know what he is defensively. He's not all that, obviously. He plays the matador defense, but he's a talented scorer, and I can really give him even with assists because I've seen his game as far as him developing, being a playmaker. And he has skills for that. I'll give it to him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's hurt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know what you mean. I think he's hurt by that rule change a little bit with his step back threes or whatnot. That took a little away from his game overall to me.
You mean traveling?
Yeah.
That rule.
I mean, yeah, that rule. But it took away. It did take away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
let me just say this.
Come on, brother.
That's a lot of money for someone who doesn't lay any, I mean, there's nothing, he doesn't stay anywhere. For whatever reason it is. He's in Houston, he's unhappy. He's Brooklyn. Disaster. Get me out of here.
Right.
Philly. Don't know what the situation is, right? But he doesn't last long. So he's a lot. The liability to invest so much in. Like what are you hoping to catch lightning in the bottom? He hasn't won anything.
No.
So what are you getting? You're getting a scorer, but in the playoff time, he's not there.
Right.
He'll disappear on you. And then he'll say, well, let me just collect my things and go to somewhere else and force another team's hand. So if I'm a GM in the NBA, yes, on the one hand, I'm getting a talented scorer, but there are a lot of talented scorers out there. He's not somebody that I'm looking to invest that much. I'm like a franchise player because the only franchise he represents is the name on the back of the jersey.
That's
Let
it.
me ask you all,
yeah.
Let me ask you all a crazy question.
Sure, please.
When's the last time you saw somebody lead the league in assists but not make others around him better?
Wow. That's a very good question.
That's him.
That's a good question. That's not a crazy.
He led the league. He led the NBA in assists last year, guys.
Right.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
For sure. But he doesn't make anybody around him better. No. That's a hell of a statement. That's deep.
That really is.
He can't make Embiid better.
Usually they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
For sure. I don't know his first name. Maxey is probably at his stage of his career better than James Harden.
No doubt.
Where they both are right now.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So you're talking 10.5, close to 11 assists a night. And you got knocked out in the second round.
Exactly.
Oh, the
and
British,
you were up 3-2.
The British
I ain't
stayed
gonna
in
blame.
Philly
I'm not
longer
even
than
gonna
James
blame
Harden.
Doc Rivers this time. Y'all, James Harden, Joel Embiid, y'all were up 3-2.
Right.
With game 6 at home.
Right.
Dom didn't hear that one.
I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I was just kidding. I said the British stayed in Philly longer.
Exactly.
Than James Harden.
Yeah. There's the Beatles. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Think about that one thing. He was close to leading the league in assists. I think the year might have been the first year that Westbrook averaged triple double. I think he might have been second.
Okay.
And what did he do? What did he do in Houston?
Nothing.
And then Dave already said when he gets to the playoffs, oh my God, it's like,
well,
he's a different person, man.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. He's done this over and over again, guys. Let's not get it twisted and say this is a once in a lifetime thing.
Right.
You know what it is? It's like our brother, God rest his soul, Max 611. He would always call like disappearing acts.
That's right, disappearing acts. Every time I think of that, I think of Max. Disappearing acts.
Disappearing acts. That's what he's good for. So it's like, oh, here we
Remember
go.
the 1 for 25 from 3.
Oof.
Yeah.
And we always complained about John Starks cheated us out of a championship because he went 1 for 16.
Right.
1 for 25.
Right.
That's crazy right there. Exactly.
Somebody should have broke his arm. I mean,
apparently he believed his own hype. That's why he's taking that many shots.
And in fairness to Starks, that was a major part of his game.
Right.
Exactly. You know, Harden can do a lot of other things. He just chooses to do that step back three, and taking the more difficult shot. And you know, you live with it and you die with it. And he's paired up with Durant and Westbrook, Durant and Kyrie. I mean,
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. You got Embiid. He and nothing. That resume is thin.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So he's asking for a lot, and he's getting older.
Yeah.
Right. Would the Knicks have even got that far without Starks that year?
No. Because Starks played defense.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
He wasn't a one-trick pony.
No, he wasn't.
That's right.
Not by a long stretch.
That's right.
Exactly.
And on that team, he was just as much of a hard as any of the other guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys find this funny? It just hit me not too long ago. I find this hilarious. The fact that Kyrie's out there.
Oh God.
No.
Now you got the beard out there. I just find it hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard Kyrie got a sign on him. We'll dribble for food. I don't. He may take the bare minimum in Phoenix. I heard.
He's out there. He's out there on the highway somewhere.
Yeah. Exactly. He got a sign or whatever.
No shade, bro.
He got no oranges. He got a bag full of basketballs out there.
And the funniest thing I heard this morning was
what's that?
His caveat, his catch this time is, Dave, I want to go somewhere I could call home and end my career. Have we not heard this song before?
Yeah.
It's like a remix, man. Like,
come on.
Well,
exactly.
Listen, he struggles finding a home, but he's sure done a lot that would end a career.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, what's the latest thing on Amazon he can pull up or something?
Exactly.
But,
it doesn't like I said, it doesn't make sense.
And it's getting hard to hear that he's a hell of a ball player. It's getting hard to hear
that. Now here's a hell of a bowler.
Here's a hell of a bowler with the super mega loud background noise. What's up, man?
I don't even know why I'm here tonight. I should be here with you fellas.
That's right.
You are.
You should be.
Anyway, I gotta go bowl. I'll pop back in.
All right.
Reggie's
yeah, he's bugged out, man. I'm like, what was that? Special guest appearance and whatnot?
Yeah. Cameo.
You know?
Yeah, cameo from Reggie.
Hold on for a second, guys.
Yeah. Dominic, how's the weather down there?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hot. In the 90s now. We're just gradually getting hotter and hotter. Plus the humidity is what gets you, Dave.
Yeah, that's what really what it is.
It can be 90, but the feels like could be 95, 96.
Yeah.
Oh man, please. It's crazy right now, man.
Is it hot where y'all at?
It's heating up. It's heating up. That humidity is what's doing it here.
I mean, damn, guys, Saturday. I think Saturday is what, July 1st?
Yep.
Yes. You got to be careful.
We've had a lot of rain too.
So did we.
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful because I heard down south, man, the temperatures are like 20 degrees higher than normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what they say.
I've been here long enough now where I'll tell you this, though, not to get off the subject. It's normally been a little hotter than it is now in June, going into July.
Okay. I'd say that here, too.
Yeah,
well,
it has.
I got to tell you. I'm sorry. I got to tell you.
The only thing I don't like is that this starts the hurricane season.
Right.
You know, now I didn't know, guys, when I first moved down south, I never knew it was that long. I never knew hurricane season was 6 months long.
Wow.
That's like a winter in the Poconos or something.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
6 months.
Exactly.
6 months of this shit.
Shit, who knew? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For real. All right, so let's do some moving on, shall we? Let's go to a lane that Mr. Dom doesn't really like. You mentioned that you mentioned that guy, and I owe people an apology because I could have sworn it said Eli was saying that he sees a bit of the GOAT, Tom Brady, right?
Oh,
In Daniel Jones, but it was actually Phil Sims' son.
I don't care if it was Moses that said it. That's some bull.
I thought this was hilarious because I saw it and I was like, wait, what? It's like, okay, what do you see? And you know what Chris Sims based this on? His size. As a matter of fact, he said size is a skill.
Size is a skill. Okay.
That's new.
Size, yeah. That right there, that statement, I was like, okay, we really got to question why you are a voice that has a platform in sports, specifically football, a sport that your father played and played well. But size is a skill.
It's not even a skill in the bedroom.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
For real. Exactly.
I forgot he even did football again.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Right. This is probably why I thought it was Eli Manning because I was like, well, this guy, he's really doesn't matter.
Right.
And I wrote notes before we got started, and I was going to ask you guys because y'all see him more than me. Though I've seen him quite a few times last year. The Giants were on some nationally televised. Panthers ain't playing during this block. The Giants happen to be coming on.
Right.
And I didn't see Tom Brady. I may have saw one of the Brady bunch, but
yeah, you saw Bobby Brady.
Well, you know what? Let's
you saw Marsha Brady getting hit with the
football.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's be fair for a minute. Let's take a look at this guy's stats. 3,205 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I believe he had, if I'm not mistaken, a 92.5 rating. Not too shabby.
No.
Not too shabby.
But not for today's standards. Not with all the passing going on in the NFL now, guys.
Well,
and not GOAT.
No, it's definitely not GOAT. Like,
I mean, a lot of guys can put up good stats. I mean, they call people GOATs for a reason.
Exactly.
It separates people
for sure. You know the thing, like the thing that bothers me, and I'm not a Giant fan. You guys know that because I always bash them and watch them to lose. And
who's your team?
The Buffalo Bills, the real team.
I wanted him to say it.
Yeah, the actual real team of the football team of New York. That's the real team.
The only team in New York.
Exactly. Those other two imposters playing in Jersey. So no love for them. But I'm saying, I see this guy and I criticize him and whatnot, but he has improved a little bit, but is that natural progression, or is it that the schedule was easier? I'm really anxious to see a lot of games this year because they have a much tougher schedule this year, and I want to see how much more he can improve. I know you got Saquon Barkley, you rely on him, you run the ball. I respect that, but you also have some new weapons from the guy from Oakland, Waller, the tight end.
Yeah,
he's very good. He's very good. I mean, is he going to add a wrinkle to this passing game? Perhaps. I mean,
that NFC East is still very competitive. You've got to separate yourself.
Oh yeah.
What happened? Somebody pulled a strike? Or...
That's what the hell? That's Reggie.
Yeah, that's Reggie. He got a ball.
And then one time, it was only probably 2 years ago that the NFC East, you could almost get in the playoffs with an under 500
That's right.
record.
That's absolutely. That's
79.
right.
79
a minute ago.
Exactly. Yeah. But they've all improved.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
know what I'm saying? So like I said, me personally, I'm just very interested in seeing how they do this year. I'll be probably watching more games, more Giant games than Buffalo, more than likely, because I want to see this progression. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he falls back, then what? Yeah. What do we do now?
Right.
What do we do now? Because I totally forgot about his contract situation. He has been signed, if I'm not mistaken, to an extension. I think it's 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Not that that means anything in the NFL, but
no, contracts don't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, this is true. But I'm just saying, I want to see what happens after this year. If he's good, then God bless him. If he's not so good, well, then we might have a problem. You know what I'm saying? We have to go to the draft again.
I don't think nobody's wishing bad on him. I mean,
no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree, Dom. Nobody's wishing bad on him.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the
Brady thing. That was strange.
Yeah, well, I think that's to get people talking because
you got them talking, all right.
I bet.
After Chris left the NFL, I forgot that he was ever in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
So I
forgot he was an analyst.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was an analyst until I'm seeing this. I thought he was just somewhere in a barbershop or something talking.
I could tell you this much. I knew actually I was pulling for him as a quarterback because at the time when I was a Giant fan and I loved Phil Simms. You understand? So I was like, the son of the man of Phil, he gotta be on point. He gotta be on point. He learned from his dad and whatnot. And what a disappointment that was.
Well, how many sons have we seen?
Yeah.
Right. They don't pan out. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Greasy might have been better than Sims, though.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. He was. There's no question about that. What about LeBron? You called me out. Did I do that? Did I just do that? Is Bronny?
Well, Vlad. If you're going all sports, Vlad.
Right, Vlad. Yeah. Vlad.
Molecule. I think his son plays.
Now there's a few. There's a few. Bichette's son.
Bo. Bo Bichette. Oh yeah.
No, he's really
the Bonds.
That's right. And the Griffey.
Baseball's a little different.
Yeah. Baseball is very different.
Yeah, for
sure. But there's a lot of sons of basketball players in the league. We've got one, running the point for the Knicks.
Yeah. Brunson, exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so crazy. Yeah, Dad wasn't, but he was more a standout in college. It's crazy because, we're at the age now where we're seeing. Stop it. We're seeing sons of guys that we saw play in college.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, what is it? Juwan Howard
has
a son now. That
that's right. He just got drafted.
Yeah, he just got drafted.
Exactly. So I remember going to see my sister. She's just retiring, but she was a professor at Temple University for many years.
Okay.
And we went. This is back in the 90s. We went to see Temple UMass with Don Chaney, and John Calipari, and that's where Marcus Camby was playing. And we went to the game at Temple, and Rick Brunson was the point guard. Right. So it's crazy now just to look at. Like,
and it's funny how it shifted, Dave. I can remember feeling old when I started seeing players become coaches.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought I was getting like, wow, this guy was playing point guard for the Lakers.
Right. That's right.
Now I'm seeing their sons playing, and these guys ain't even coaching no more.
Hell, we've seen some sons retire.
Exactly.
So it's like,
exactly. Oh man. All right. So with that being said, let's do some more. Moving on. Here we go, David. This is gonna be this is you right here. This is you. Have the struggling New York Mets put manager Buck Showalter in a precarious position. Reggie's shaking his head no. He must not agree. I don't know if Reggie's a fan or not. I know Dave is, and I know Dom doesn't hate them either. So
yeah. I don't think there's any haters. So I don't think there's any haters.
No.
Yeah. Let me just say this. Okay. First of all, we got this cryptic announcement from Steve Cohen. You go. I want you to hear it from me first.
Right.
Tomorrow there's going to be a press conference. What the hell? What was? I don't know. I didn't learn anything. I don't know. He just basically said that. Well, everybody. Well, he's putting people on notice. I don't know. I don't know what was the. I didn't watch it, so I tried to pick up. But I didn't hear any quotables from it. But let me say this about Buck. And I think R and I we talked a little bit in the chat
for sure.
I think Buck is a heck of a manager. But a lot of the things that we praised him, Met fans went crazy. Every little bit of news about, Buck taught them how to do this. Buck, the meetings, the team meetings that they would have for the game, and the players raved about his ability, his knowledge of the game, and his ability to impart that knowledge to make them better ball players. Some of the stuff that's the heady part of the game. And we got excited about that and said, yeah, we got a real manager now. And now a year later, I'm seeing the total opposite. So as much as I praised Buck last year for that, something happened. And, I work in a school. And so you can't tell me you're a great teacher and the kids are failing. So I'm not, and I'm not saying that it's Buck's fault. The players still have to, they have to play the game. But the game that they're playing it looking like little leaguers. There's some of the movements that they're making on the field are just questionable. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe nobody's saying this, but maybe the players aren't listening to Buck. I don't know what the reason is why you go from last year to this year and seeing a 180 as far as the intangibles go. Put aside the skill part. Because there are injuries, there are all kinds of stuff that happen, but just the basic knowledge of the game and awareness seems to be missing, because a lot of those games that they could have won, they gave away. And then this is not even talking about the bullpen. I mean, I don't know if there's any correlation, but the Edwin Diaz losing the closer shifted and moved people around. And so there we have a lot of guys, pieces here and there who are not in their normal positions.
Okay.
In the bullpen. So it's a lot of things. I just say this and I get off of it. It's not enjoyable to watch. I'm always going to be a Met fan, but this team is not good and they're not likable.
Wow. As compared to last year.
Right.
Obviously.
Let's do that though. Let's take a moment and digest and think about last year. I'm a numbers guy.
Yes.
The Mets were not 20th in batting average last year. They weren't 18th in on base percentage. They wasn't 18th in runs, 10th in home runs, 20th in slugging. Here's the scariest part. even when they were mid-level in offense, which, if y'all remember correctly, last year, guys, the Mets stood, 10, 12, 8, 9 in the offensive categories. Here's where it gets scary. Earned run, 25th. Batting average against, 20th. Walks per hits per 9 innings, 23rd. This is what I liked what the owner did. And the president, when they came out at the end, if I heard this correctly, Buck Showalter and the GM are not on the hot seat.
Right.
So that let me think, y'all need to play your ball. You need to get out there and get from 23rd to maybe 15th, 16th.
Yes.
Is the season over? I hate to say really, I do, because there's always a chance. We've seen it last year. We've seen teams come back last year. The Mets.
We saw Philly.
Yeah.
This is Dom. The season in the end of June. I never want to call a season in the end of June, but I'm not seeing. We look at body language. I'm not seeing anything that indicates that they are going to self-correct, and that's the feeling. Okay. That's why this season feels lost to me as a Mets fan.
Right.
I don't have excitement going into the second half. Now they may turn it all around, and this baseball is a long season.
Yes,
and
it is.
A lot of things can happen. They can pull off a trade that turns things around. A lot of things can happen. But last year, the main difference for me between this year and last year is that when the Mets were down last year, you felt like they could come back.
Right.
Now, if they get down in a game, you're looking at like this offense is not going to have anything to get them back in it, and they show no signs of that gut, that scrappiness, that the other team. That's what we as New Yorkers, I don't care if you're Met, Yankee, whatever the sport is, we like that hard hat type of player, that scrappiness, that one that really just goes out there and fights. And I'm not seeing it now. I've stopped watching a lot of it because I've been very busy. Honestly, I've been very busy the past couple of months.
Okay.
But also, it's just like, do I want to go to bed angry? It's like, no. So let me just watch something else, and then I just look at it on my phone and check the scores, and then it's like, oh, the other night was they were up, and I have a few Mets fans that I work with.
Don't. Oh.
And then it's like that inning. I didn't watch it, but I heard everybody was really losing their stuff over that one inning, because I went to bed and I was like, okay, we're up. What were we up, like 3 runs or something like that?
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And then I wake up, for my 2 a.m. bathroom break, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but am I surprised? No.
Even that being said, I don't think I ever seen an ending to a game like that.
It was crazy.
You do know they hit 2 batters with the bases loaded.
You know what?
Not
Tom?
1, 2 and walked another one.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the I
couldn't believe it.
So I didn't even bother going back and saying, oh, let me see how this happened. No, I don't need to know how it happened.
Let me just chime in real quick. A few things I want to bring up about this team, and especially specifically Showalter. He's been guilty of. Here's the thing: if your team is in a rut offensively, you know what I'm saying. My thing is this: stop sticking so much with the high salaried veteran that's not producing. Give him a day or 2 off.
Yeah.
Let one of the young hungry kids come in, take their place, maybe provide a spark that they sorely need. I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying, and I see Dom shaking his head. I saw it early on, when they brought up Alvarez. There was there was buzzing, and Alvarez has been good, but I don't think we have that type of team where bringing up that youth for the spark plug. I could see that with a team that's constituted a little differently. I just don't think that. I think that's a lot to ask on these kids. You know, there was a big buzz and everybody's talking about the babies and the excitement over that. That lasted 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
so I don't know, but you know, again, I don't watch a lot of it, and like I said the other night, I don't need to know how it happened. It's like if I see a pile of trash and I walk around it, I didn't ask how it got there.
Right.
You know, why does it look that way? I just say it's trash and I'll just walk around it. And that's the way I've been approaching this season until they show me better. And I love the Mets.
I know.
But I'm too old to be getting sick over these guys. And I've been through that. And it's taken me 50 plus years to get to that point. I'm going to enjoy baseball, but I can't. You gotta show me. I can't want it more than you do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta show me.
What R said is scary, and I understand what R's saying, but I just look. Today make game 81. So that's you're halfway done after the night.
Exactly.
So R's point of playing Joe and Bobby and Snuffy, is that a sign of white flag? You know, everybody got an ego, and I'm pretty sure Bucks is pretty big.
Right,
You know, are we waving the white flag after 80 games? You know, is there no hope?
Well, I mean,
me as a fan, I'm like Dave. You know, I watched that game, Dave. I'm thinking this isn't happening. This really isn't happening.
Well, I mean,
it almost took me back to '86 when the Mets made that comeback. I kept saying, with my young ass in Germany up at 5 in the morning, this really ain't happening.
Yeah,
that's how I looked at that game, Dave. I was like, all right, they're gonna get out of this. They're still up 3. They're up 2. We're good. We're
now
we're down 1.
Like, exactly. How the hell did that happen? I sat
and watched the Mets get back up. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I? And they weren't playing the Toronto or
no,
or one of these hot teams.
No. The thing I want to know is, again, David, you missed the press conference or whatnot. You know, basically he was saying that both the GM Appler and Showalter are safe. Right. But now, here's the thing, and I don't know if anybody caught this. They're safe for this season. For the season.
Yeah.
I didn't see like long term. And maybe owners don't do that. I'm not 100% sure. But again, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, it's one of those things like you don't pull a gun on somebody unless you plan on using it.
Right.
So I think that you're not going to say that and a vote of no confidence.
Right.
You know, owners, if they're going to go that far, then they just cut the top.
They just cut the top. Exactly.
You're fired.
Because he was saying, like, you know, everybody wants the you know, everybody's panicking, the fans is panicking, this and that, and everybody wants something to be done, and it's always a fire this guy, fire that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's saying he doesn't do business that way. And
I think that's the right approach to it. Doesn't mean that he's not thinking it. But I think you can't, on the one hand, say that people shouldn't panic and shouldn't want that instant, and then you turn around and do something rash.
Right.
You know, so I think that for this season, Buck probably, unless something crazy happened, Buck is good for this season. But I don't think that after the disappointment of last year, because last year ended brutally for the Mets.
It did.
Then you know, hope springs eternal.
Right.
And then you know, winter is coming, and it's coming quick.
Right.
You know, so you know, Citi Field is expensive.
Yes.
Dom, I'm going down to Miami late July. And I bought
who you going to see?
I'm going for my wife's family reunion.
Okay.
But the Marlins are playing the Rockies that weekend. And I just bought 2 tickets down the right field line, front row, $20 each.
What? Wow.
Field level or
field level.
Well, then
Field
again,
level.
then again, that's the Marlins. So
that's the Marlins. But
I can't be surprised.
But the thing is, though, the Marlins are competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So you can't charge. I mean, it's the old talk that we had. Yes, it's the old conversation that we had about the Knicks. You know, the Garden is expensive,
right?
And parking at Citi Field is not cheap. It's about $30.
That's not cheap.
To eat there, and I go and I only have to feed myself.
Right.
But people go with families and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It is extremely expensive. And then that they're building all that stuff. Now they broke ground to build all that entertainment center and the new soccer stadium out behind Citi Field. So there's a lot of money in there. And you're asking people to put out a lot of money for a product that so I don't know.
And you know what? And Cone is not guilt-free with this either.
No.
He has made some bonehead signings for some extraordinary money at some extraordinary ages.
For sure.
Yeah.
So as they always say, you got a nickel in this dime.
Right.
He may have 7 cents.
Is that
yeah, that's true.
Well, but you know what the thing is, though? I think he believes his own hype because it was like, this guy is such a billionaire. He's got so much money. He got so much money. Oh, again, he's got so much money. You know what I'm saying? So, and him being a Met fan, a passionate Met fan.
Well, he came in as a savior.
There you go,
saving us from the Wilpons.
Exactly. Now, who's going to save us from this guy?
Yeah. Well, listen, and I know I'm talking a lot about it because it's my team, but
of course,
listen, he's not been, some of these guys have been owners for a long time.
Right.
And they've learned a lot of things. They learned, some get better as far as learning what to do and what not to do.
Right.
He came in, Met fans got excited because it was like one of us, except he has money.
Right.
So we had the feeling we've got someone who knows what it's like to be a Mets fan now running the team, which is different than the Wilpons. The Wilpons went out of their way to show you that they were Dodger fans.
Right.
So now we got one of us in there and, the hype and all, and he wanted to make a big splash and wanted to show that the purse strings were open instead of what we've gone through for all these years with the Wilpons of the stinginess.
Right.
But the Wilpons had spent some money too and had some disasters. I mean, you just go back and look at 93.
Yeah.
That was a very expensive team, and that was a
abysmal
crap show. Yeah.
Abysmal mess.
Yeah. So but anyway, that's really my take on it.
Okay, fair enough. Dom, any closing comments?
No, I just when I was talking all that, boom baya stuff, I opened my phone and they're at game 81.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're halfway home now, guys. I mean,
you got that right. Yeah. I don't know.
I'll say this though.
Okay.
Miami is like the Orioles. I keep waiting for them to disappear and turn back into the Marlins, turn back into the Orioles. And
right.
You know what, guys?
Ain't happening. Not yet.
Not right now. No.
Not right now.
And you know what? In half the time, the Marlins have the same amount of World Series as the Mets.
Yeah.
Right.
One being against my New York Yankees.
That's right.
Exactly. And speaking of the Yankees, let's get into that. Go cross town.
Was there a game last night or something? I keep hearing some excitement about last night. Oh, is that what happened?
That's what it was. Yeah, out in Oakland against the Athletics. They won that game 11-0.
Wow. And it's too bad nobody was there to see it.
Right.
Yeah. Or awake to watch it.
Yeah.
That's the shame of it.
Yeah.
So with the Bronx Bombers 9.5 games out of first place in the AL East, can the New York Yankees hope to catch Tampa Bay with star player and reigning AL MVP Aaron Judge sidelined with that toe injury where he tore a ligament or two.
No, he could have been healthy, and I would have said no. Not at this point.
Not at this point, though.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Yankees have hit the 81 game plateau. So my theory, again, when I read the questions today, I was like, they ain't catching Tampa. They ain't catching the Orioles. And by golly, I think there's two teams that are probably between a game and a half to 2 games behind, putting them out the wild card. Angels playing ball.
Yep.
You know, I'll tell you what, guys, it's a different American league. I mean, you may have close to 4 teams, at least 4 teams in the American League East in the postseason.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Only
at
division in baseball, everybody's at 500 or better.
Right. I'm looking actually. Yeah, I'm looking at the wild card standings and whatnot. You know, you got Baltimore, you got the Yankees, you got Toronto, you got Houston. You know what I'm saying?
California,
Angeles, right?
Or Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and even as an outside shot, Boston and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cleveland probably stands a better chance of winning their division because that's a very weak division.
It's a weak division, true.
So, I looked at the questions today and I was like, man, this is kind of, I'm a Yankee fan. This is kind of heart-wrenching. And you know what, though? All that being said, leave it to ESPN. We could throw Malika Andrews under the bus with her take on black NBA players, as they say. What did ESPN do today after what's-his-name's perfect game? Remember when he had the domestic violence case?
Oh, so they brought that up?
Oh.
Really? Okay.
Did they really?
You know what? It's par for the course for your whack ass, and that's why I don't even watch it or listen to it as background noise anymore.
Yeah.
Par for the course with them. I just happened to read about it, and I'm like, you know what?
So they had
like I said, par for the course.
So they had to raise the ugly head.
Oh yeah, of course. Not to mention, he married this woman. They've been married since then.
Right.
I mean, what we getting in between sheets now? I mean, it just goes to show how petty they can be. I mean, Malika Andrews did it too, but it's the networking as a whole, guys. It could be Malika Andrews, Dave Sanford, or PTI. I don't care who it is.
Right.
They gotta add that stuff in there. Like, we need that catch. We need to. Not to mention, the Yankees have 4 perfect games. They finally eclipsed Chicago for the most perfect games as an organization. No, you remember when R beat his girlfriend?
Right.
If anybody remembers, it's Domingo. He remembers because he suffered almost a whole year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He remembers. Why do we got to keep with the shoveling shit, man? There's no more journalists, guys. Let's just end it with
it's all sensationalism now.
Yeah, exactly. There's no more journalism.
Well, like I said last week, the E comes before the S.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Entertainment. Exactly. You got that right.
I wouldn't be surprised down the road ESPN comes up with a reality show.
I was just thinking that.
Just to save face.
Yep.
Just to save the sinking ship.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising at all, man.
Have the anchors fighting.
Let's see what Dave does after he leaves the.
Yep.
Now,
exactly.
I shouldn't say this, but I have to.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it,
I have to.
I'm tired of this. We shouldn't be saying something.
And
I'll say it.
Listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started. But actually, Aaron Judge. And it's not really his fault. It's the fault of the Dodgers. As one of our members in the independent group had said, he blamed the Dodgers for their having that. I think it was like a slab of concrete out there.
Oh, on the warning track?
Yeah. It was like a slab of that caused the injury. So I'll give Aaron a pass, even though he is out for, whenever. That's to be determined.
Yeah.
But again, injury's an injury. I kind of saw this coming one way or the other. I hate to say it like that, but not shocked. Not shocked.
Yeah. No. No. I mean, which toe was it? Big toe? Look.
I think it was a big toe. I'm not
mistaken. But I told you about it. Can't trust him.
Can't trust him.
Can't. And again, it's not really his fault like that if you look at it.
No. It's a toe.
It's a toe. No, it hurts. You ever stub your toe on the bed?
Yeah, you can curse like a motherfucker.
What's that, Red? How many millions of dollars you got? Get another one. Stop.
How about for all that money you make? Let the ball hit the wall. Play it off the wall.
You did.
What's wrong with that?
Red.
You gotta be on the ESPN highlight reel. Play the damn ball off.
Red, I'm sorry. I had to mute. Yeah, that background was killing, boss.
Yeah. It's no truth to the rumor that he was wearing Kevin Durant's shoes.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
You think about that, guy. You was winning in the game. Play the ball off the wall.
But Reggie,
did you really need to do that?
He felt like he had to. He's trying to give all out effort.
Yeah.
Why? We already know you're an Anthony Davis foul away from this in 30 games.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, Jesus, they're probably the same height.
Right.
Come on, man.
Do you think he'll come back this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah, he probably will. Yeah.
Okay.
Be embarrassing if he don't.
Right.
You know, big toe. That's like Zion. He pulled the hamstring. He missed the whole season.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm just
How did
waiting.
that happen? Tell me, guys. I don't know. I ain't that smart.
I'm just waiting for Judge to go into Fenway Park and trip over the green monster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next thing. I'm telling
you. Reggie's right. He's a big toe.
He is right. He is right.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Zion, you pulled the hamstring in December.
Right.
Nobody saw you except old girl.
Old girls.
Right. Oh, wait. Speaking of that guy, let me throw something in there real quick. Did you guys happen to see a video of him doing a 360 at some high school or something like that, entertaining the kids?
No.
Oh, he was doing 360s in the layup line for New Orleans.
That I did see that.
Remember?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with him.
Layup lines.
Ain't nothing wrong with him.
This guy, man.
Not to get off subject. Are they protecting him more than he's protecting him?
Yeah.
Probably. It looks like it.
Yes.
It looks like it. Apparently so.
Kind of, sort of.
Yep.
Wow.
He's doing 360s in the layup line and then puts on street clothes.
Yep. And yep. And he's first at the team buffet.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Pushing people out the way. Get out the way.
Exactly. Dudes played. Coming in there, he's in there. No, I thought that was a spread.
I don't get these athletes nowadays, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not the same. We know that. But
it's not. And it spans all sports.
Yeah.
All
sports.
It's
way beyond Zion.
Sports.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
They
together probably missed more games than Zion has played.
And that's another player the Knicks better not trade for, Paul George.
Oh,
why is that a conversation?
I have no
Everything's a conversation. Let me tell you all this, guys, before we even go further. I'm almost to the point now where these pundits, we can't call them journalists no more.
No.
I think they wake up every morning, go on Twitter, see what Knicks fans, Laker fans, OKC fans are talking about, and create a story. Create a story behind that. Like,
right.
I think R puts more thought into the topics than ESPN.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I try.
It's a fact. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
And we sit here, and us 3.5, because Reggie's here and gone. We sat here, not here, but on Texas, worrying about what R might say.
Yeah.
And these clowns walk around and just say shit.
They make
may
up
not
stuff.
Be left versus right, black versus white, whatever. It may not be, but they just make up stuff. And I told somebody today, check this out. Did y'all see this one? Whoa. Woj.
Yeah.
Who hasn't had a Woj bomb since the atomic bomb. Oh, I don't think the Knicks are going to be in free agency this year. But next year, you Woj bombing a year out now.
Yeah. The last bomb Woj had was in a Chipotle bathroom.
That was it.
Come on, guys. I say this all the time.
That was it.
Trade deadline, free agency, all this. And I said it last week, guys. We had 3 pretty big trades.
Yeah.
And nobody told me.
Nobody
told me, are you? Hey, word on the street is Dave's going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but it was, we heard rumors of. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
These teams ain't consulting with you on their moves. Man.
Exactly.
Really? Hey, Dave, before I sign Beal, what do you think? Should I? And no, Dave's going to say, let me think about this and get back with you in a few hours.
Right. Yeah, right. And so then they get up there and say, which is not necessarily a lie, but the team is thinking about. So, right. Yeah, right after they think about what they're going to have for lunch.
Exactly.
Let me drop a Woj bomb.
Yeah.
It's all.
That ship has sailed, guys. That ship has long sailed.
Exactly.
And you know what? Not to beat a dead horse, but I kind of applaud the teams. Everybody thought it was just the Knicks. Remember, like for the last couple of years, Leon Rose isn't very chitter-chattery. He keeps things under the cuff.
For sure.
People will bash it. People will like it. I kind of like it. I don't like somebody spreading my business. He keeps things under the cuff.
Right.
And when something needs to be said, needs to be done, okay.
Right.
He ain't. And so if you hear a rumor about the Knicks, me at least, I'm a Knicks fan. I'd be like, man, I know damn well Leon Rose didn't say that shit.
Right.
This is true. You know your team. You know that. You know the
Leon, you think Leon Rose, going back to how we started, you think Leon Rose is going to contemplate signing James Harden at 54 years old at $35 million a year?
Right.
Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
But just think about it. Okay, we all grew up in New York. We all watched, the Warner Wolves. And and each one had their stick and personality, but they were professionals.
For sure.
No doubt about today we getting all stick and personality, but we're not getting professionals.
No.
Everybody has an opinion. And if you're lucky enough, somebody puts you on. Like a lot of these guys are here just for the fodder, and not for any substance. There's nothing substantial coming out. They pair these two together because they have chemistry, and they get people talking. But really, it's just like it's no different from us talking on here.
No, it's not.
They get paid a whole lot of money
to do that bullshit.
Yeah,
but the difference, Dave, is, and I'm not putting feathers in our caps, we talk about stuff.
Right. Exactly.
We're not predicting nothing. We're not getting on here and saying, "Hey, Dave, guess what?
Right.
I heard Reggie's going to sign with the Pro Bowlers tour." We ain't doing that.
Right. We're not.
That's the way I'm going tonight.
We don't do that. And back to Dave's point, the Warner Wolves and all of them, they reported what they saw.
Right.
It wasn't all this sensationalism. And we had that conversation too, guys, back in the days when we read the daily news and the sports section of the New York Post. You read what was going on, not what I'm predicting, what I'm thinking, what my sources are telling me.
Sources again.
That's a good point because, again, Dom, you just brought up about the New York papers and stuff like that. I remember back in the day, Fridays was a big day for me. With the sports, as far as the Daily News and the Post. That Friday edition. Oh man, I was
and you remember you had to get like the sports edition, the late one, because if you got the paper too early, it didn't have the West Coast scores on it.
Exactly.
Remember the Night Owl?
Oh yes.
Remember the story I told you all about Frank Isola sending me the sports section. That's when we read the newspapers, man.
That's right.
And I'm 3,000 miles away, and I'm like, I kind of miss this stuff. I'm watching AFN all day. Shit's like 16 hours ahead of everybody, so we're really behind everybody.
Right.
Reggie, good over there?
I used to appreciate that because it took me back to being a child and reading the newspaper.
I used to, you remember the sports line, it was like a 900 number or something like that.
Yes,
and I used to have to ask my parents permission because it was like $1 a minute or something like
right,
that.
right.
But I would call
So
it.
it's the sports line.
Yeah. I would exactly. I would call it because I would get the scores. If the Mets, or the Yankees were playing out west,
right,
and the game was, wasn't televised, or it was too late for me to sit there and watch TV, and I sneak in and go. Got to get the scores. Got to get the scores.
Hell yeah.
If you guys, I know again, I don't have a job, but if you guys would sometime, and I don't know if you do or not, I'm not saying, but I do. If you guys would go back and listen to some of the shows we've had over the last 5 years, 6, I'm talking about even back to the days where we was on the phone, guys. Remember
the phone.
Right. And listen, I saved all these.
Wow.
For real, I saved all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's times, and I labeled it with the subject, and I'm sometimes I go back and man, this is weird. And
man,
here we are 6 years later, and we're still hanging in there.
We're
still watching this merry-go-round of the bus on the wheels, and
yep.
And we laugh about it, but
right.
I'm telling you guys, one day, just you don't even got to go back as far as I. Just go back to the videos on YouTube. All subscribers, so they're all there.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
And think of some of the stuff we talked about.
Oh man.
I'm talking COVID. Pre-COVID. After COVID.
How about Trump?
Oh,
everything. Everything we spoke about.
Everything, bro. Everything.
Which again throws me for a loop about how we was, again, to keep everybody safe, what we was discussing during the text. And I'm thinking, well, we talked about worse-ish.
We did. I thought about that
anytime
too.
you could sit there, whether don't pick sides, because it happened to every one of them. When you can sit here and bash any sitting president, the gloves are off.
Oh yeah,
nobody's safe, man.
That's right.
Nobody's safe no more. We're talking going all the way back to Carter. You ain't safe, man.
Some of the jokes we had, I mean, were really
guys. The funniest one I remember was, damn, I forgot the guy's name when we was talking about COVID, and he was talking about his daughter and his grandfather.
Who the hell?
Oh man, I forgot his name, man. I have to listen to it again. I got it saved.
Yeah.
He was doing the phone thing.
Okay.
And he was talking about how stupid. We was all talking about how stupid it was. Remember with the drinking the toilet bowl and going to the beaches. I forgot the guy's name, but he was like, he was talking about his daughter, his grandfather. When everybody was all paranoid about that. But here's the funny thing, guys, and I'm gonna stop. I listened to that show, and then I fast forwarded a few more, and we're debating, and my dumb ass, we're debating, should they play again?
Oh yeah.
2 shows after that.
Yeah.
May 15th hit. Everybody want to go to the bubble now.
Right.
I'm telling you guys, it's funny as it's not funny. And plus, Mac was there.
So
I get to see
You
Mark.
already know. You already know.
Oh man, exactly. Yes.
his rope in the tin can.
Yes.
And he's looking like a champ. That's the funny thing. We laugh about it, but I watch it, and all of us, we're all guilty.
Oh yeah,
we're talking about the internet. He's just sitting there.
Yeah, sitting there. Sometimes Mac would sit there with nothing but his headset and a light bulb above his head.
And he would sit there. Then he would cut us off.
Yeah.
Go to the next subject.
Which he's notorious for.
Oh
nothing happened. I'm telling you guys, take the time.
DJ Groove Killer.
It's funny as hell.
I gotta tell you, the funniest one for me, honestly, was that one. Oh man, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Bigger. I don't know if he was around. I don't know if he was there for that. Down. I don't think he was there.
Bigger.
Dallas.
Dallas Cowboy fan.
Bro.
They used to roast this guy.
Roasted him, especially about, you guys didn't vote for Hillary. Oh my God, dude.
They used to roast Bigger. Bigger left and then came back. Remember, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna try this again."
Right.
And it didn't last long.
Yeah, what happened to the nutty professor, whatever his name was?
Oh yeah, Professor.
You know what?
Professor.
I send
and then Snowman would come on and steal the show. And
well, here's what: has anybody heard anything about Chandler?
I haven't.
No, I did.
Oh,
well, I told y'all this a while ago.
You did say something.
Yes.
Must have been about 7-8 months ago. He popped up on the Bleed Blue show.
Right.
I was like, Chandler, we've been. Oh, I know, Dom. He gave me the same. I'm just going through and.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to reach out and apologize to
because I'll never. It was that morning, early in the morning.
Oh yeah,
and R and Chandler were going at it, and
because
R was telling them chill, and
he kept
pushing, and then R, I forget what it was, and then next Chandler was ghost after that.
And you know what's weird? There was times when I saw y'all doing this that I blame myself. Because remember, guys, not for accolades, it was my dumbass idea to have this group text. It started out remember, in case something happens to one of us,
right?
Collecting wires.
Right. Well, that was. You remember the first time Chandler went missing, and you
that's why we did
calling all over the place. Yeah,
we had to do it.
So we had to do that buddy check.
So you can't be blamed at all for that, Dom. No way.
Well, no, I'm saying
absolutely
I'll tell you what, guys. It must have been maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 months.
Right.
When my son passed away.
Right.
My wife and I decided to get away, and I'm leaving the hotel at Myrtle Beach, and I'm going across the street, and my phone rang, and it was Chandler, and he was like, "Oh, Dom, he wasn't doing good. His blood sugar was off the hook." And I'm telling him, Chandler, please, my son this was one of his downfalls, and he was like, "Oh, Dom, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna keep in touch."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard from him until that day he popped up on the Bleed Blue show. And even then, Steve didn't mind. I basically stopped the show.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All the guys, you do remember us, right?
Yeah.
Me, Dave.
Yeah.
We've been looking for you for months. Man.
Months.
Oh, Dom, I'm just going through. Not, hey, my number's still the same. So I took it as.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can reach out to him.
Yeah.
Well, how he was with phone numbers too, guys.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing.
To give us a get out of jail free card. Number every.
Well, right. So the number you have might have been 3 or 4 phone numbers ago.
For sure.
Yeah, come on.
But I'm gonna see if I can locate this dude.
Yeah.
I will. But next time, if I tell him like, "Yo, bro." Don't mess with me. Stop.
Yeah, y'all was going too far.
Yeah. That morning it was like, damn.
And I'm not blaming you all. I'm just saying it was like.
But
there was times I was reading it. I'm like,
I'm like, dude.
You ever get to the point, Dave, where you say to yourself, I should say something?
Yeah, right.
Guys, enough guys. Enough already. You're grown men. And then R and I, we like were texting, each other as it's going on. It was like, damn. And that's what me and Bishop was doing. I'm texting Bishop, and Bishop's like, Dom, let it go, Dom. Stop caring so much. Let it go, Dom.
Let it go. Stop caring. Yeah.
You care too much, Dom. I'm like, but you're the bishop. You're supposed to be Mary, full of grace. He said, No, man, that's just a nickname.
Exactly.
I started crying.
Oh,
he just kept telling me. Every time I would text him something, he would say, let it go.
Let it go.
One time he texted me, damn, man, I said let it go like 20 minutes ago. Let it go. And I finally said, you know what, I'm not going to say
what?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
R already seemed like he had one foot
on
the trigger. And I'm like, let these clowns, they'll get over it. Because y'all always did.
Well, that's what everybody thought. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And then this guy went Amari Hardwick for 3 years.
Right.
I'm
gonna reach back out to him. I'll apologize. I'll be the bigger man.
Okay. I don't even think, honestly, and we could stop it. I don't even think it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Homeboy got a lot of.
Yeah. Because I was like, yo, bro, please stop. Please. I'm begging you.
No, he wouldn't.
R had time that morning.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, exactly. You had too much time that morning.
Yeah.
Like me. Well, normally that would be me. I'd be like, I ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah.
Oh, you was off that day?
Huh?
You were off that day?
I might have been.
All must have been because
I must have been.
It was early, but it was like it didn't seem like R had anywhere.
Was Reggie even a part of it back then?
I don't think so.
I don't think
because
so.
You remember we had the other group,
right.
the other chat, and then we had to switch over on this one.
Right.
For a couple
we kept
reasons,
adding people, and I would say delete Texas. And
Right. Yeah.
I remember it used to be funny. Dom would be cracking up because Dom would be in the car with his wife.
Oh.
And
I had to turn the damn text off.
She must have thought we were some fools.
Exactly.
She said, Dominic, who are these guys? I was like, I said, I'm gonna stop playing it, honey.
You were like,
what I would do sometimes is my screen would go off, R. Jones in the group of 5, and I would hit my watch.
Right.
And just read it on my watch.
Okay.
And then, then it would go away on the screen.
Yeah, right.
And I thought to myself, man, this screen thing ain't working because my wife is. And y'all was using some unsavory language.
Oh my gosh!
And she took it on the chin. No, she never got mad.
Yeah, I never heard
telling y'all that, man. Y'all did that. Again, not to get. Y'all kept me and my wife cracking up from my house to Myrtle Beach one day.
I remember you.
Hour and 40 minutes. Y'all would just bing, 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 bing.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
She said, "Do they stop?" I was like,
No.
They must all be off today, honey. I don't know. It was during the week.
It was. Like
they all must be off today.
Oh, those are great times, though, man. Hey, listen. Oh, you know what? I don't even want to hold you guys up and whatnot. I don't want to break the mold, but I'm gonna do a Max 611. This is why we're called Untitled, because it's not just sports. I saw this today with the New York City shelters. Now have a population of over 100,000 people, and half of that total are migrants. I got pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. I got pissed off, and for obvious reasons. Yes, I know people around the world need help. I get it, and I know that New York City is give us your tired, your hungry, all that mantra, that propaganda. But I say F that. I'm tired. Maybe I'm a bad guy. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just a real person that has real feelings about this, which I am. And the fact is, why? And also, do you realize from spring of 2022 to just this year, $1 billion has been spent. $1 billion. And they say at the end of next year, the total will balloon up to $4 billion.
4.3 to be exact.
4.3. Thank you, Dom. That's
taxpayer money.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So before you go deep into this, let me just touch on what you said about the Statue of Liberty and give us your child and all that.
Yeah,
that's what you do if you've already taken care of the people that are here.
Thank you.
Then you can start extending. It's just like in your household. If you didn't take care of your household, but then you out there taking care of all these others, you know. So we're not built for that because all those people that they moved out of these shelters and out of these welfare hotels and whatever else to accommodate, they're all out there on the street. They're on the subways, and the subways are great. Dom, you were here in New York in the 80s and 90s. But now it's a whole nother level of like crazy out there.
Word.
You don't even want to say nothing to nobody on there.
No.
Listen,
my brother, God rest his soul, he's always telling me, Dom, you wouldn't last one stop on the train.
Bro. I would welcome back.
Yeah.
Remember those depictions, those photos of the trains in the 80s? With the whole ghetto, like the whole graffiti vibe.
Yes.
I would take that back than what's out there today.
Let me give y'all some shocking. Again, when I heard all I talk about this, as of May 12th, homeless vets were being booted out of some of these hotels.
Right. Yeah, see that.
Now remember something, guys. These homeless vets were being booted out and it wasn't on nobody's dime. It was these groups who get money, get donations that were paying anywhere between $89 and $90 a month, which is in some cases in New York, shelter or not.
Right.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
They got booted out to put in, as I would say, illegals or whatever you want to call them, migrants, immigrants, grants, where the city is picking up $190 a night.
Yeah.
But like Dave said, here's the scary thing, guys. When you look at some of the countries, these Mexico, whichever ones you want to think of, Venezuela. You look and do the research, guys, and you count the dollars that we send them for this, that, and the other thing. So, in simplistic terms, some of these countries are double dipping. We're paying you to either protect or help your people or protect your borders, and now we're taking the money we gave you is gone.
Right.
Yeah. And we're up to what do we say? Just New York City alone, $4.3 billion.
$4.3 billion. Exactly.
Just New York City alone.
Yep.
But now you talk to people like it's even worse in California because they already had an abundance of homeless.
Right.
But you talk to somebody, and no side picking, you talk to somebody who represents them, Nancy Pelosi. It's not as bad as you think. You got tent city. They got places in San Francisco called Tent City.
Yeah.
Where thank God somebody decided to put porta potties out there because these people were just going to the bathroom in the street.
Well, first of all, Dom, to Nancy Pelosi, tell me how bad you think I think it is. Because to say it's not as bad as I think, you don't know what I think.
Right, exactly.
You know,
you're giving a blanket answer.
Yeah, exactly. And you go to the, I've been down to Georgia many times. Georgia has a serious homeless situation. In a lot of these warmer weather,
right? Exactly.
You see them out more.
Right
here, we have ours go underground in the transit system. So if you're above ground, you're not going to see it to the extent that you would below ground because they're seeking shelter. But in a lot of, first time I went to Atlanta in a long time. I went back in like 2016. And I'm in the car with my son. We just came from the airport and go to the hotel downtown Atlanta. And it's like it was like that. They didn't have the 10 cities, but they were all over the place. And I'm like, well, damn.
Right.
Everybody's not waiting for the bus. This is there's a lot of
exactly. But you know what pisses me off,
I don't need somebody to tell me that what I'm seeing ain't what I'm seeing. I'm sick of that part.
Yeah,
I'm watching this. I'm seeing this. This is live.
But you know what?
But it's not as bad as you think it is,
But you know what, guys? Here's what really kills me about this with these migrants being brought over to New York City, hell, to this country. You understand? I want to know. Listen, what if I wonder what happened if I decided to go to a country.
Oh, please stop. I've been to Mexico.
Okay. And have them take care of me in a way that's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It's not happening.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, good luck.
But then again, you see, this is where we again, I don't want to get nobody. This is where we always split hairs. With you thought it was cool. Without picking, you thought it was cool for votes to say, I'm a sanctuary city.
Right.
Like you said, Dave, you started on, give me your poor, your humble.
That's right.
Come on.
But now all of a sudden, you're throwing our people under the bus for what?
Right. Right.
And you know what? The worst thing that ever happened, and again, you can't do it without picking sides. We went back to that catch and release thing again.
Yeah.
So we get you at the border. You happen to get in. Hey, your court date is July 1st. We don't never see R again.
No.
How are we doing this, guys? Really?
Bro.
Yeah.
And nobody. It seems that how you could split hairs with left, right, red, blue. How you could split hairs with this activity going on.
Right.
Is unfathomable to me because guess what? I don't care what you say. Plenty of people have come to this country. Again, my ancestors came to this country, Ellis Island, waiting there, getting. How did we lose that ball where Okay, I'll see you on July 5th.
Yeah.
You think R's coming back?
No.
Nope.
Really?
No.
Not at all.
It's like I said. It's just when I saw the story on the news, I went read the time. I'm like, yo, come on.
Are you guys seeing this? Are y'all seeing this homelessness?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
I figured that. But
here's the other thing that at least I'm seeing is all the migrants are not adults,
right?
No.
And so the children are coming to the schools, and the schools are. Here's what happened in New York City school. COVID really changed the dynamic of a lot of things,
right?
Because we had a lot of students leave. There was 1.1 million the last time, when they gave the numbers. I think it's dropped since then because we had a lot of students that left New York entirely. You had for a number of reasons. You had situations where a parent died, and now they went down to North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, because that's where the grandparent lives. So we had a lot of kids that left, but now there's an influx coming in of these non-English speaking, and they're being placed in these schools that they can accommodate them physically, but they can't accommodate them emotionally and academically, because in my school, for example, we have some people that speak Spanish, but not in all these classes. These kids got to take these classes, and they speak they don't speak a lick of English,
right?
And so we
how's that gonna work?
Yeah, we had a situation. I want to say it's been 2 years now. Young man came in, spoke no English. Socially, he didn't adapt. Then COVID hit. He was out, sort of lost in that. Eventually, he wound up transferring out of our school, but within a few months, unfortunately, he committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
And his sister, and mother came up to the school, to talk to us, and we tried to help them out with the GoFundMe and so forth. He felt very much alone.
Yeah.
He couldn't communicate with people.
Right.
Just struggle. So that's the other side of it. I'm not saying that is what happens with every case. Some adjust, but there definitely is a language situation here too.
But is that our responsibility, though, guys? I mean, I don't mean to sound like that.
Well, no.
With the money we're giving you, first of all, we really need to do some homework when we talk about Dominic or Dave. We're asylum seekers. Well, there's a criteria to be an asylum seeker.
Yes,
you just don't show up at the border and say,
"I'm here."
Right.
Yeah.
And then, even if you did that, and we determined that Dave is an asylum, we got to have a better system. Just letting them go and say,
putting them
come back.
Or putting them on buses. And
Planes. They're doing planes now, Dave.
Right.
Yeah. And sending them to these sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
I know people can't stand the governor of Florida, but you know what? If he's going to die on his sword, he's going to die on his sword for his state, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Whether you agree with him or not.
Right.
I'm not playing that game, guys. If y'all want to play that game, just like during COVID, we're not going to lock our people down from now till the end of time.
Yeah.
We need to get back to our lives.
Right.
Because you know what? As crazy as this dude be sounding and the shit he takes, come on, guys. Sooner or later, somebody was going to do the numbers. And say, the likelihood of Dom, Dave, or Reggie dying of COVID are slim to thin. If they don't have no underlying conditions, we're not overweight. When they came out with the 77% of people that died of COVID were overweight, obese, I thought to myself, okay, well, me, Reg, Dave, we're pretty cool with that. We're gonna we ain't gonna look like Zion Williamson. We're gonna stay in shape.
Let me tell you,
that's gonna help us.
It didn't. COVID didn't help. I was too close to my refrigerator.
If you got pissed off at him because he said, I'm not playing this game, don't get. I mean, come on now.
But Don, to your point, and I was going to say it earlier. There are people in the red that I disagree with a lot of their philosophies.
Me too, trust me.
But what I cannot disagree with, and I think we have cut off our noses to spite our faces in a lot of these cases, and we want to be so liberal and so pro everything to the detriment of the people that they are supposed to be representing. And so you take DeSantis, you even take, and I hate to say, but you take Trump and some of the others. The part of it that I do agree with is what happened. What's wrong with saying I'm putting America first?
Right, exactly. But let me stop you there, Dave, because before all of that, before the Trumps and the DeSantises and the whoever else is on the red side, how many times did you say that?
Right.
And what about us?
Yeah.
It ain't the first time. This ain't our first rodeo. We're sending billions of dollars somewhere.
It's true.
I remember saying I felt a certain way. I'm not gonna lie, and I even said it on here. Matter of fact, about Trump. People they get mad at what he said. If this guy, and I'll say it again, if this guy would have listened to his team, and put it in a better way, a more acceptable way,
absolutely,
it would have got over. I guarantee it would have got over. Nobody can tell me any different.
Would it are? Because remember,
it would. Because like you just said, we say the same thing.
We woke up the morning after the elections are, and people were boycotting. People were picking. People were playing the race card. People were playing every card under the sun.
You know what?
Guy's not even the president yet. He's just the president-elect.
Right, but dare I say this?
It's that craziness, guys.
Dare I say this, Dom? I'm going to tell you. I think a lot of that was fake outrage, because what he had said, a lot of people feel the same way, but they won't admit it. They won't say it out loud.
A lot more people think that way than are willing to admit it.
But I won't even get into that part, Dave. Let's just get into the part how we started. When I asked you, and even Reggie, if he could hear me, how many times have y'all went to bed or you're having a conversation with your wife or your friends and you be saying to yourself, why can't they do that shit for us?
Yeah.
Again, guys, I lived a different life. I went and
they don't want to.
I went
they don't want
to the country,
right,
and came home to witness this bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like I just said, would they treat me like that? No, they wouldn't.
No. But here's the thing that I'll say. Here's the thing that I'll say about that.
Yeah.
So many people are so full of crap. That they don't know how to be honest without thinking that they'll be offensive. There's a difference because listen, we've all said it, and I feel that way about a lot of things. I feel that way about racial things when it comes to my own people. You know,
for sure.
Some of the behaviors and the stuff that we can't say that that's crazy or that's bad behavior because somebody's going to turn around and say, oh well, you sound like Bill Cosby,
right?
Those kind of things. But I see behavior that is so opposed to who I am as a person,
for sure,
that is representing us. Right. I didn't watch, and I haven't watched in many years, but I heard they had the BET Awards again, and I heard that was just an exercise in buffoonery.
Yeah,
but this is what's celebrated. This is what's celebrated, and then I work with young people, so on the one hand, I get the lack of experience in worldly things and immaturity that attraction. When we were young, we were drawn to a lot of stupidness too. But they think that's what life is about.
Right.
And then I watch, and not all, because I tell you, there are a lot more very heady young people. We don't give them a lot of credit, but there are a lot of them that are very wise, and they know how to separate that this is clown behavior. But when it's time to get down to my work, I know how to do it. But then I see others that's what they celebrate, and that's what they live. Yeah, and when you try to tell them something different,
you're the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm the bad. I'm the bad guy. I'm out of touch. I don't understand. Listen, I tell these kids all the time. I've been working in the school. I just finished my 33rd year. I tell these kids this. I've met you before. I know how the story ends.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to change. Yeah, I've seen this movie. It's up to you to change the reality, because I can tell you where this goes. And I'm not impressed. But I get it at 16, 17, 18 years old. But when they get to be 30-something and they're still walking around with their pants hanging off and doing and behaving like they're kids and teenagers and celebrating that kind of lifestyle, that I have no respect for that.
No, I'm with you on that.
And again, guys, but there's so many things that whatever you are, Black, white, Democrat, Republican, that you feel you could, I could reach this person.
Yeah.
But you can't.
No.
Dave gave a prime example.
He gave a great example.
We got millions of young, just for shits and giggles, millions of young Black girls watching the BET Awards. What edification are they getting out of that? No shade against nobody that watches it, guys. Trust me.
Right.
No shade.
Right.
You got to look at who they targeting. Look who they targeting.
That's what I always say, Reggie. I always say that, especially to my wife, who is you guys.
Right.
I always tell her, honey, we're not in that group no more.
Right.
We've been gone. They've been done lapped us.
Yeah.
We're Netflix, watching movies.
Yeah.
We ain't part of that no more. They don't give a damn if we watch. So why watch?
Right.
They're not targeting us. They're targeting this clan. I told y'all this before, guys. Other countries be laughing at it because 75% of the people in the United States of America watch reality TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
There you go.
You got nothing better to do. You can't watch Jack Ryan. You can't watch The Blacklist.
Right.
They're not thinking about that. They ain't thinking
about
it.
Great shows on Apple. You can't watch none of that.
I was just having a conversation.
But again, they know who they're targeting.
What'd you say,
They know
Reg?
how to get to them.
Yeah.
And they're making millions of dollars.
I was having a conversation with his mother. There was this TV show on Channel 7 called For Life.
For Life?
For Life.
Yeah.
They canceled that show, but you still got a lot of hip hop going on for how many seasons?
Oh, absolutely.
And 1,000 cities, Reg.
Yeah. Everybody
Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Basketball Wives of Baghdad.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's because
Yep.
you have people they target. Exactly. And not who they just targeting, but those people that were targeted, they subscribed fully to that.
Well, that's it right there, Ark. I'm glad you said that because listen, I can't go around and put a target on myself and then say I'm being targeted. It works. That targeting works both ways.
Definitely.
This is not little kids where Saturday morning they put on the toy commercials and the cereal commercials because they know the demographic and they say we're going to get these kids. At some point, you've got to take responsibility for what you're intaking.
There you go. Exactly.
And we can't. It's reciprocal because they will target people who they know will receive that, and so it's almost like a which came first, the chicken or the egg, because it becomes, are they targeting them, or are we setting off some kind of signal that's the kind of entertainment that we were looking for? I used to watch in the beginning for laughs the Real Housewives and the basketball wives.
Okay.
And then I realized that I go to my school the next day, and these girls are getting into fights. And it was the same behavior that I just got through watching for laughs the night before. Now it's not so funny because I'm trying to calm a situation. And I started to say, well, I don't want to, this is not entertaining to me.
Right.
So I lost many years ago.
Right. Dave, has it become easier to play the victim?
It absolutely has, because playing the victim absolves you of responsibility.
Exactly.
Right. There you go.
You ain't gonna tell. They ain't gonna come up to me, you are Reggie, and say, "Well, you know they do it on Real Housewives." We ain't buying that shit. We're too old. Right. We're too old. We're not that dumb. We're not that
exactly.
You know, I seen plenty of westerns where they had gun show. I don't do that.
Right.
No,
you don't do that.
Never did.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Come on now, but it's easier today's society. It's so easy to raise your hand because, again, like what we was going to talk about, but we'll just use the word indoctrination. It's more about indoctrinating your children than they are educating your children.
Right.
If it's about
100%.
if it's about what side I'm on,
right,
and I need you to be on that side, and I need you to be on that side 6-8 years from now, I'm winning. I don't really care about you.
Well, we don't. It's our society. We're not looking to create informed thinkers.
No,
no. We're looking to push a narrative.
Yep.
And then this is what people follow. You know, I'd much rather. I mean, in the purest form, we should be having a real difference, not this made up difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. You know, what we're getting is it's BS. They're the same people. They just
that's it.
One gravitates to one base to get what they want. The other gravitates to the other, but ultimately, these people are the same. I really don't believe, with the exception of a few, that there's much difference in them. But because historically we have gravitated to one side or another, they will continue that. But are we getting real choice?
No, we had that conversation.
No, yes, we did.
And somebody on the line misunderstood. I remember misunderstood what I was saying. I tell y'all guys a million times, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican.
Yeah.
It's just certain things that I've seen, again, growing up in New York, going back to what Dave said, where, again, that word indoctrinate, we're indoctrinated to believe that this is our group.
Right.
We'll forget all the history.
Absolutely.
You know, I used to always tell all my good friends, they're Democrats.
Yeah.
And I would always say to them, man, you know what? Nah, not for nothing. Don't get mad at me. But how long can one group say, we're for the poor, they're for the rich, and you're still saying that? 54 years later, you're still saying that shit.
You know what? I think what's his name said it best in regards to that whole, you know, being part of a group, Democrat, Republican. Chris Rock, in one of his specials, he said, listen, I'm neither. I got shit that I'm conservative about.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got shit that I'm liberal about.
Yeah.
You know, he was saying everybody, I shouldn't say everybody because I'm, you know, but there's so many people want to be part and be down with a group. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why what am I missing, brother?
No, they're missing something.
Okay.
That's why people become parts of groups. They're missing
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. 100%.
Gotcha.
I used to always say this, guys, again, as an independent. When I go to vote, I'm voting for my military and my money. If that makes me a conservative, then fuck it. I'll ride that horse.
Yeah.
I don't have no big grand plan.
Right.
I mean, I can't sit here and have people tell me and always use the word race. You know, not saying it's not used in the proper context. It should be, but we run with this now.
Yeah.
Again, we just saw it. We'll talk about race and who's a racist. Yeah. And then you voted for Joe Biden, who has probably one of the shittiest records against African Americans.
Exactly.
Did we forget that shit? Research is
apparently
free, people.
Apparently,
research is free.
Thank you for saying that.
But if you say that, like especially you guys, and I don't mean you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Let that shit come out of Dave's mouth.
Oh, forget about it.
You're a sellout.
Right.
You're a what was that doctor's name? The brain surgeon.
Ben Carson. Yeah, Carson.
Right.
You're a sellout. You're like,
right.
But he grew up in the hood. He grew up in the project.
Right.
He became a brain surgeon. We forget all of that.
Yeah.
You know, but you're a sellout,
Yeah.
Dave. You shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. I mean, going back to this guy's history, he has said, done. And I've never, forgive me guys for saying this, for all y'all that are going to get blasted in the morning, I've never seen anybody get away with so much of that shit. Normally, we're strapped. We're strapped and ready to go when somebody fast. Yo, Dave, I remember when you pissed on the wall by the handball court. Tell me you didn't. I know you were 16, but I was there. I saw it. This is the world we live in now. They go back as far as they can.
47.
This guy get such a free
47, 48 years
of nothing.
This guy.
Of nothing.
Nothing.
But I'm just talking about the things he said.
Here's what made me so
it's like
annoyed.
It never happened.
This is what annoyed me with the Democrats. You knew once Obama was out, because as soon as on November the 4th, 2008, when he got voted in, November the 5th, the Republicans were working on a strategy to get him out.
Right.
And you knew this. And now he had 2 terms. And you're telling me that first you had Hillary, who was so flawed.
Very.
And then so then we had the 4 years of Trump. So okay, you didn't prepare after Obama. So Hillary was the best option. You got Trump in there. And then 4 years later, you're telling me Joe Biden is the best that the Democratic Party has to represent the Democrats? That's what pissed me off. And so look.
And you're gonna tell me
couldn't have enough. I couldn't. And Trump I couldn't take any more.
I'm not gonna get.
But that's why he won.
Right.
But you're gonna tell me this guy got more votes than any president in the history of voting.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I didn't vote. I'll be honest.
No,
I
hear you.
In 2000, whatever it was, I didn't even vote, guys.
I feel
I was like, I can't see. If this guy gets reelected, we're going to hear the same thing over and over again. We ain't going to hear about nothing that he ever did or planned to do. We're going to hear the same rhetoric. So, and then if this guy wins, oh my God, this guy, come on, guy. Before he got elected, I was like, is this guy even standing up straight?
Yeah, right.
Dom,
I mean, he looks like a walking.
You cracked. He cracked me up earlier with that. What'd you say, Dom? You can't take this guy with the Putin and Iraq.
Come on.
He's not winning the war in Iraq. I'm like, what did we? I mean,
I was like, what are you talking about?
Forgive me for saying that. Barack Obama, but
what? Right. What calendar is he looking at?
Exactly. I was like,
Iraq.
He said they're not. You saw
exactly
it,
right? Yes, exactly,
like,
Reg.
And I can't no more, man. Seriously.
And this is our president right now.
Yep. Yeah, I see you, Reg. I see you.
You know what, guys? Yep. We saw this. We saw this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This dude wasn't even on the campaign trail. He was in a fucking basement in Delaware.
Yeah.
He was scared to come outside because of this.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, Dave, you are going to be Dave.
That's right.
Sooner or later, Dave's going to come out in you, Dave.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. They can prop him up, but Joe's going to be Joe.
That's gotta be. And then you got his son. This guy is like.
They keep how look. I try to avoid, after becoming so news obsessed during Trump's term. After I just shut everything off, and then half the people on CNN couldn't get out of their own way, and so
then you're governor.
Oh, jeez.
I'll just say this in regards to Hunter Biden. The apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree.
It's still attached to the tree.
Basically.
But come on, guys. Again, I always say this. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. There are some things that you look at and you say, this shit really shouldn't be happening, man.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, this really shouldn't be happening.
No.
Yeah, and I can only wonder what
you tripping over invisible steps.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can't hold a sentence. And then use that one line. I love that one line he uses all the time. Oh, I'm going off a script. I'm gonna get in trouble. No, bro. No. You got in trouble when you touched the mic.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, God.
Now you're just here to entertain us.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Listen,
God bless us.
Let me close this out. I'm gonna do one more.
Save the Queen.
Right. Let's
Remember that one?
Yeah, of course.
Save the Queen.
So now,
right.
The Supreme Court has done away with the affirmative action in college admissions. I know two of them is was that North Carolina University?
UNC and Harvard.
Yep, there you go. Thank you, Dom. Well, oh man, where do I even begin?
But do you know why this got started?
It was fun while
again. It was
I know why.
Discrimination against an Asian.
Right.
That somebody decided to fight back on, and
right.
So here we are.
Well, you know what? The thing that I got out of this is the fact that, and Clarence Thomas, what a bitch ass. I'll just say that, because you have been long fighting against this. Something that affirmative probably got your ass to where you at.
It did, and then he was hell bent on closing the door behind him.
Exactly. I didn't understand it. I'm like, what? The ultimate in Uncle Tom.
We got somebody new. We got somebody
I know.
new.
Got a new guest.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. How are you?
He's got a med hat on.
He don't even know the camera's there.
He don't even know.
Hope he doesn't do anything.
No shit.
Yeah.
Somebody text Reggie.
Yeah, because we might
be missing his phone.
Reggie, look, hi. The moment of self-awareness.
Y'all need to stop. Well, he does something stupid.
See, that's a plant.
Yeah, there you go.
He's there waiting for R to say something so that he can report him.
Exactly. You already know the deal. But what an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What an Uncle Tom he is, man. I'm just like, yo,
but
bro.
He is who he's always been.
For sure. There's no question about it. And now, so do you even want any black young people in college?
No.
I mean, honestly, I have to put it out there. I'm just saying.
It's that.
Well, listen.
I always got to take the other side. So go ahead.
That's okay. And I love that about you. My thing is like, listen. But at the same time, you won't do it based on race. But what you will do is take a C or D student who's excellent at playing football and get him into your college, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Point well taken.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Does affirmative action help that, or does athletics help that?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
I'll say this, and I'm not gonna.
Go ahead, Dom.
I heard somebody say, "How do you fight discrimination with discrimination?"
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I read the article that Carl posted, and I'm still trying to figure out. I forgot what the word was. The guy, and I read that article. That was straight up, racist. The whole article,
right?
Because I'm still trying to figure out what it's making mediocre white people easier. What's it make? Did you ask me? Did anybody call me and say, "Hey, mediocre white guy"?
That's because
you didn't have affirmative action to get into college.
You're not mediocre.
I'm just saying. I read the whole article.
Dom is up there like, well, speaking for the mediocre.
Yeah, I didn't text nothing. I just said, let it. Dom, I thought of Bishop. Let it go, Dom. But I'm thinking to myself. When I heard that, how do you fight discrimination with discrimination?
Right.
And that was weird. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Like, Wow, that shit.
Well, see, here's the failure of, I guess, I hate to say it, but the failure of the civil rights movement. And this is that here we are almost 60 years later from the, all the civil rights bills, 1965 and so on. The fact that we still feel that we need affirmative action. Because wasn't that the whole point of it? If the point of it was to make opportunities available to everyone, regardless of color, gender, and so on. I'll say it, and I know we didn't really want to touch on it, but the LGBT whatever have benefited more from the gains that of the African Americans fight for equality.
For sure.
And so here we are 50 years later and almost 60 years later, and we're still talking about the need to have affirmative action in this place. That was not, you couldn't tell me that King and all the other leaders of that time could have ever imagined that over a half a century later, the conditions and the mindset would be this way that it is today. I mean, we take it back to even 150 plus years ago with the abolition of slavery. And then how you had all the different various black codes and so forth. It was said by a Supreme Court justice back then that you can't legislate the way people feel. You can make these laws and so forth, but people are going to feel the way they're going to feel, and that has not changed in decades.
Right? No, it hasn't. You know what? I just want to say this. I had a conversation earlier, and this person was saying about the historically Black colleges and universities, how they need to step up now. You understand what I'm saying? And also making donations. These celebrities need to step up. You understand what I'm saying? And make their contributions to these historically Black colleges and universities.
So a lot of these HBCUs have survived off of the fantasy of what HBCUs are. In the 90s, late 80s, 90s, when Different World came out and School Days, there was this big, because those HBCUs were dying in a lot of cases.
For sure.
And so there was this idealism of what college life is, the Hollywood version of it, but the benefit was that students started going back to these schools.
That's exactly.
And saved a lot of these HBCUs. I don't mean to make be disrespectful with the comparison, but we've talked on here many times about the WNBA. And the reason why it's failing is because the women don't even support it.
No, they don't.
So the HBCUs need us to support them. And one thing that my school has done is that we have encouraged our students to at least look into the HBCUs as an option. And those wonderful institutions.
See, I agree with you. They are wonderful institutions, but my thing is, too, let's say if we do start going back to these colleges, okay, when they graduate, is it gonna, I don't even know how I should put this, but is it gonna hold the same weight as maybe one of the other?
No, I get it. The Ivy Leagues and so forth. Here's where it will hold weight that I think that we have not fully tapped into. There is there are legacies of alumni who are now in positions of leadership, of power, of strength.
Okay.
That's where the new graduates, these new alumni to join those ranks should be taken care of.
Right. I agree.
And so if I am a CEO or a vice president of a bank or something like that, and I came from Morehouse, I came from, woman came from Spelman, forth, like that, and I see a Morehouse, Spelman, Lincoln graduate, take them under the wing because that they got a real education.
Right. There you go.
You know, so
true that.
The keys to the door are in our possession. We just have to turn the lock.
Right. Okay.
You know, we can't pull a Clarence Thomas who will go through a system and then close the door behind him and throw away the key.
Exactly.
And say, now y'all pull yourself up by your bootstraps when I didn't have to. You know, so there are billions of dollars. I mean, we've talked about it before. Our spending, the spending in the African American community, billions and billions of dollars. The hair care industry that in many cases our women and men keep afloat. You know, so we have power. We have financial power, and we have the power to say that why not an HBCU?
Right.
You know, but if we're not standing up and advocating for this, how do we expect anyone else to say?
But let's before we go, let's rewind how we started this.
Okay.
Why not us? When we talked about the immigrants and the hotels and houses, why not us? Right. Not take care of us first. You know, it took years, guys. Years. It used to be a normal thing, but it had to be Dave coming to the government every year.
Yeah.
To get funding for HBCU. Shit went under the bus, but for years.
Yeah.
Till they finally got a commitment for, I think it was like 10 years, $250 million from, and that's peanuts.
Yeah.
For all the HBCUs, $250 million is a drop in the hat.
It's a drop in the hat. Yeah.
But where was the federal government? Again, you brought up the immigrants taking over hotels in New York, and they brought up, how about us? And it's another example of, how about us?
Yeah.
Going to schools in this country. I don't give a shit if it's an HBCU, which I am a grad of.
That's right.
I don't give a shit if it's an HBCU or an ACU.
Yeah.
It's in the United States of America. We just went over immigrants, Ukraine, money to Mexico, Venezuela, all these countries. But you got these people coming to you, kissing your ass every year.
Yeah.
Saying, nah, I'm hungry. Can I eat? In the United States of America.
And Dom, look at the City University of New York, the CUNY system.
Right.
The CUNY system is actually very difficult for students, American-born New Yorkers, to get into. A lot of this, their demographic of their student body is coming from outside of the United States.
Right.
So it made getting into CUNY. CUNY at one time was free.
Right.
And you had a lot of that veterans from the Vietnam War who were able to go to college for free. And then they made it minimal tuition because they just had to keep afloat with that. But now it is very competitive to the point where many of our kids don't have the grades to get in because they're competing with international students and they're taking those seats.
Right.
So you know, ultimately, I think that a big push for some of the HBCUs, if they can present themselves internationally, to you know, because you're going to then be able to live off of, these are the graduates. And this is what they and our graduates are in this field and that field and so forth. But then there's also the danger that I worry about is that sometimes when too many people know about something or want something, then the people that it was originally intended for get pushed out. So there's a risk with that too.
I'm a prime example of how the government could help people go to school.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I had to serve.
Right.
But whether I did 20 years or 3 years, I was going to get a full ride in school.
Okay.
That's just one dude, man.
Right.
Yeah, probably hundreds of thousands of veterans or still active duty service members. But my point is, you're proving it can be done. If you could do it for Dominic, then why can't you do it for an HBCU?
Dom, why did you? Just curious, and the opportunity to tell your story. What was your thinking behind choosing the HBCU? Was it just because they had the program you wanted? Or was there a specific reason why you?
One was that, but two, I think I told you all the story. It was kind of funny. When I was in PA, I went to Penn State.
Okay.
And then UNC, and then my travels made me go online a lot.
Right.
So when I retired, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm looking. There's another program I could tap into for 2 more years to get my master's degree. Okay, I'm getting tired of the online thing. So I happened to call Fayetteville State University. Get this young lady on the phone. I was like, ma'am, I'm just a little curious, I'm white. I'm thinking about coming. She was like, can I stop you? What's your name? I said, Dominic. She said, can I stop you, Dominic? She said, you do know what HBCU stands for, right? I said, yes, ma'am. Historically Black college. She said, what was the first word you said? I said, historically. I said, ma'am, I understand but what's the likelihood? She knows what she did. She said, look, Dom. She started calling me Dom. I'm like, oh shit, we're friends.
Yeah, right.
I told you all this story.
Yeah,
she said, look, Dom, how about you come down? Let me show you around. You decide on your own. She said, I got a good plan for you because you're a little older and you might not want to drive all the way to Murchison. We got a plan for you to do umpteen hours in class, umpteen hours online. You only need 2 years to get your master's. So just come down and give me a chance. I went down, and little did I know, because she told me this, I had a bachelor's in Homeland Security, terroristic activities and shit like that. So she pulls this up with this security, and she says, Dom, the word Dom again, Dom, according to the VA, you can't go no further with your education because of your disability. I'm like, why didn't they tell me that shit when I was getting my bachelor's? She said, I don't know, Dominic, but we're going to move on from that. We're going to do it where you're going to get a master's in business administration / So where now you got a master's, you're going to be in charge of these people. You ain't got to run around and chase nobody.
Right.
She said she did the legwork for me too. She said, let me call the VA. Right. She called me like 2 days later. Dom, we're in if you're in. So I was like, you know what?
Okay.
And you know what, guys? I told y'all before.
Yeah.
It was weird at first.
Right.
I'm gonna get away from the color thing.
Right.
Okay.
The age difference.
Yeah.
But again, guys, my voice, I ain't gonna say charm, my comedy act. I felt like I was in high school again, guys.
I think that New York part of it.
And then I went from, I started out, guys, doing 45, 90, let's say 4 hours a week.
Okay.
In person. The rest I did online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, by 6 months in, I was doing like 90%.
Right.
And trust me when I tell you, FSU is in the hood. And I always drive a nice car.
Yeah.
Like, first thing I did is I met this young lady in the class. I said, where you park your car? She said, Dom, I live right down the street in the dorm. I'm like, fuck. But I could tell you, come in the side where the murals are. They got this wall with murals.
Yeah. Okay.
The King, J. Cole, because he's a president.
Right.
She said, you come in that part. go past the football field, and then go around the football field and park in the football parking lot. I'm like, that's a fucking walk, man.
Right.
You want your car to be safe?
It's shorter than walking home.
It's like, okay, fuck it, I'll try it. You know what? Long story longer. I said, I'm gonna try it tomorrow. He said, what time you come to school? I said, I don't know. Tomorrow I gotta be here at 10:15. Yo, guys, 10 o'clock. She was in the parking lot.
Wow.
He said, I figured you might want some company. I know you're scary ass, don't want to walk this. He said, I can't believe you was out saving our country and you worried about the car getting stolen. You know,
right?
It's in a very very unsavory.
I've heard that about what is it, Shaw University and some of the others down there.
But I gotta take pictures, guys, because I enjoy the basketball games.
Oh man, Dom was ready to pledge Q.
Exactly. Oh no, I was too old for that. Trust me. Go, but once you enter the campus, they are fun.
Okay.
Oh my God.
No pun intended, but it's
exactly.
I think, guys, you know, they was like, don't worry about the color thing, and you don't worry about all the. I guess they was talking about the jumping in circles and doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, guys, let me tell you something. I was part of one of the greatest organizations known to man.
That's right.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, just let this shit. But they would dog you every day. You know, it became fun.
You jumped out of airplanes.
They're like, they're like 20-something years old.
Oh yeah.
Right. And at that time, I was probably clocking 50, I think.
Wow.
And I'm like, but you know what? I told you before, I had a ball. Yeah. Oh man, you talking about
that's great.
But it's but again, the money. We're talking about showing me money.
Yeah.
They showed me the money. They didn't care where I went with the money.
That's right.
So it showed me they have the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know, Penn State ain't sucking for money.
No.
UNC ain't sucking for money.
Right.
But HBCUs are sucking for money.
Yeah.
Now, granted, even without this and that, UNC's alum, Penn State's alum, that's probably enough to keep them schools afloat for 150 years.
Absolutely.
At least.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But they don't need the help. So that means you're not.
Yeah.
Why not, guys? I mean, you think about it, guys.
No doubt.
You don't need to get the answer, but how many HBCUs you think are in the United States of America? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Not that many where we can't say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of whack, guys. And they started this shit with the, what about us? Yeah. That's right. It came full circle, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yep, it sure did.
Wow. All right, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a show. I appreciate you. Love you guys, Dave, Dom. Reggie, when it's bowling behind.
Right.
And his special guest.
Special guest, exactly. I gotta curse out Bishop where his ass was, but that's all right. I'm gonna get.
Hey, where is he? He's off the boat, ain't he?
Yeah,
I thought so.
He's
Aquaman. Black Aquaman.
Yeah.
But again, appreciate you guys. Peace. Okay. Have a wonderful.
All right, you too. Peace.
Thanks,
All right, thank you.